Hi everybody, my name is Lim Shwe Wen. My student ID is 23453. I'm from Dr. Sobri's class, and this assignment I'll be in charge of question 1 first. So for question 1, a program was required to prompt the user to import x and y coordinate. So what we need to do is we need to write a code where it will ask the user to enter a number for x and a number for y, and it will be categorized on whether it is first, second, third, or fourth quadrant. So I've already written the code. So this is the code for question 1. As you can see, I've started an include iOS script, which is compulsory for the body, using namespace std and integer main. And from here on, we will be writing our program. For integer x and y, I use integer because it will just be a whole number for my program. And we'll be prompting user to enter and to accept the xy coordinates from the user. So this is why we have a cout, enter x coordinates, and we have a cin x, which the user will enter the number. And for cout, enter y coordinates, the user will enter the y number. And we'll be using an if-else loop control. For every condition, there is a condition for it. So from origin, if x and y, and it will be 0, and y is equal to 0, x and y is 0, it will be in the origin. If not, it will continue to the next condition. So if x is 0, however y is not, it will be on the x-axis. And if x equals is 0 and y is not 0, then it will be on the y-axis. So, and is for the following else, you can see that we have the first quadrant, second quadrant, third and fourth quadrant. And finally, to end the program, we have a return 0. So this is what it will look like after we compile and run. So first of all, I'll enter an x coordinate, maybe I'll put a 0. And then a y coordinate also, maybe I'll put a 0. So it'll come out as origin. Same thing goes if, let's say, I were to put coordinate 3. And then y people I put maybe 12. It'll be on the first quadrant. So it press any, so this is how the program for the first question looks like. Moving on to the third question.
Hello friends, so my name is Lagindran and I'm going to teach how to do question number 2. So question number 2, basically you need to write a program to generate a table of conversions from Fahrenheit to Celsius for values from 0 Fahrenheit to 100 Fahrenheit, and you need to print a line in the table for each 5 degrees change. You need to use a while loop in your solution. So on top of the question, we are given several equations to solve our problem. So before we proceed to the program, we shall look how we are going to do the program by the way. So this is our program plan. As usual, in C++ coding, you need to include the header file, and you need to include the main function, and you need to declare the variables, print the title and the table. And for the formula for this question will be, you need to convert the equation into a C++ language, which is Celsius value 5.0 over 9.0. You need to times by double Fahrenheit value 32, and you need to display the conversion table from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So now we run the program in the compiler. So as usual, I said earlier, you need to include the header. So in this program I'm going to use the include IO stream header because we're going to input, we have inputs and outputs here. IO stream so the header should be in small letters and using namespace std. So main function and must not forget to open the bracket. So first we're going to declare all the required variables in the declaration section. So the variables that I'm going to use in this program is integer Fahrenheit, value, and I assign the Fahrenheit value to 0, and counter, and I assign the value to 5 because according to the equation we need 2 times 5, so the counter will be the 5. And double Celsius value. Why did I include double? Because our answer most probably is on decimal point, so it is better to include double delta type. So now I'm going to command the print command, print the title command, convert the value of Fahrenheit to Celsius. And then run. So for this, according to the instructions, we need to use while loop. So I'm going to use the while loop here. While Fahrenheit value is less equals to 100, because according to the question we need to print Fahrenheit to Celsius values of 0 up to 100 only, so the program should not print any values more than 100 degree Fahrenheit. So I set the while loop up to 100 only. So open the bracket. So here I'm going to do the calculation part. Celsius value is equals to open bracket 5.0 to 9.0 multiply by so I include another double here because we need to access on the decimal point Fahrenheit value minus 32. So as I explained earlier, I have converted the equation into C++ language. So I'll add another display command to display the answers. Fahrenheit value left, Celsius value and so this out so the output will be showing the Fahrenheit value together with F, and beside the Fahrenheit value it will also prompt the Celsius value which has been calculated to this sum. So the output will be beside the Fahrenheit value which has been input up to 100. And the Fahrenheit value will be added into count. So the count is basically measures up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit only. It shouldn't be more than that. So the loop stops when Fahrenheit value is more than 100. So we end the loop here and we pause the system. So this is to end the program after pressing a character key, and it will exit the program automatically. Return 0, and that's it. Program ended. Now we will try to compile and run that program. So this is the output. So as I've included the title, convert the value of Fahrenheit to Celsius. So for every 5 loops it will increase by 5. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So this is what the counter did. We counted it. So the counter will measure every 5 degrees of Fahrenheit. It will convert every 5 degrees of Fahrenheit to Celsius. So for 0 it's negative 17.7778 C. So this is the more precise value if you use double function. So and yes, after 100 there is no any values to be counted because the loop stops at 100. So moving on to question 2b. So we need to write a program to generate a table of conversions from Fahrenheit to Kelvin for values from 0 degrees Fahrenheit to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And the programs will also allow user to enter the increment of degrees Fahrenheit between lines. So we need to use the do while loop in your solution. So before moving on to the program, we look at the program plan first. So the program plan, as usual, we need to include the header file and include the main functions, and we need to declare the variables as the previous program, and the while loop checks whether the increment is less or equal equal to 0 and gets the increment value from the user. And the program is also display the title for the conversion table. The do while loop checks whether the Fahrenheit is less or equal to 200 and calculates the Kelvin using the formula. So I've converted the formula to C++ value. So Kelvin value is equals to 5.09 times double Fahrenheit value plus 459.67. And finally, the program displays the conversion table of Fahrenheit to Kelvin for the value of 0 degrees F to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So we do the program in the compiler. So as usual, we need to include our header. So I'm going to use stream for this header as a header as well for this program, using namespace standard. So int name. So we declare the values first. I'm using integer Fahrenheit value and I assign it to 0, and the count I assign it to 0 as well, and I'm using double again for a precise output Kelvin value. So the while loop checks whether the value of the count is less or equals to 0. If the condition is satisfied, get the increment value from the user, or using the while loop checks the value of increment is less or equals to 0. So I'm going to do the while loop here. While count is less than equals to 0. So this while Cout enter the count value to be 8. So the input will be assigned as the count. So while count less than equals to 0 indicates it's to read the increment value from the user and prompt the user to enter the increment value. So when the user inputs the value, the count value will be changed according to the user's input. And Cout convert into Kelvin. So the do while loop checks whether the value of the Fahrenheit is less than or equals to 20. So if the condition satisfies, it will calculate the value of the Kelvin and display the value. Otherwise, it will exit the program. So here I am going to do the do loop. Do here the calculation will come in. I will include the formula of the conversion here. Kelvin value equals to 5.0 9.0 multiplied by double. So the double data type is to get the output more precise. 0.97. So this value is to convert from Kelvin to Fahrenheit. And this is to print the Fahrenheit value and the Kelvin value as well. Sorry for the comma. So yeah, this is the output. It will from the output the Fahrenheit value together with its unit Fahrenheit and the Kelvin value together with the Kelvin. So the loop continues until depends on the increment value which is input by user. So Fahrenheit value so this is to add the value of the Fahrenheit and count and assign to the Fahrenheit. So the do loop ends here. So I'm going to open another loop function here so that the loop ends at the desired value. Since according to the question, so the table needs to count up to 200 Fahrenheit. So I assign the while loop from Fahrenheit value which is less than equals to 200, which means the loop terminates when the Fahrenheit value is above 200. So system pause. Return 0. So we compile the program. Oh, there's an error. So let's see. Okay, so the loop. Oh, which means we haven't ended the loop yet. So let's see if it's running or not. Okay, looks like I quoted the last function in the wrong place. It's supposed to be before. Okay, let's see. So the compilation is successful. So the system is now prompting enter the count value to the increment in Fahrenheit. So I'll include 20 and I press enter. So yeah, it will just, so the value of Fahrenheit is increased by 20 and it stops up to 200. So there's only 10. So for 0 Fahrenheit it shows the Kelvin value and followed by 20, 40, 60, 80. So basically the table will be formed based on the user's input and the loop stops up to 200 only. So that's all for this question. Thank you. So moving on to question number 2C, we basically need to write a program to generate a table of conversions from Celsius to Rankine, which allows user to enter the starting temperature and increment between lines. So the system needs to print 25 lines in the table. Use a for loop in your solution. So we're going to use a for loop for this solution. So before moving on to the programming part, I'll explain the plan first. As usual, we need to include the header file and the main function. We need to declare the variables, and the program need to read the starting temperature from the user, and using a while loop which checks the increment which is less or equals to 0 and get the increment value from the user, display the title and table, and using the for loop to check whether the count is less or equals to loop space and calculate the value of Rankine, and display the conversion table for Celsius into Rankine. And the program needs to connect Celsius to Fahrenheit using the formula, which is Fahrenheit value equals to 905 times double Celsius value minus 32. And the system needs to convert the Fahrenheit into Rankine using the formula. Rankine value equals to Fahrenheit value plus 459.67. And finally it needs to display the 25 lines conversion table from Celsius to Rankine. So we move on to the program. So as usual, I've used include iostream as the header and using namespace standard. So name and so we need to declare the variables first. So int count. So here I add another variable called loop size, which the system needs to print 25 lines. So I assign the loop size variable under 25. So it will print 25 lines and that will move for precise value. Fahrenheit value. Ranking value. So next is to get the input for the starting temperature from the user and read the starting temperature. Here we put Cout to prompt the user. Enter temperature 1, 2, 3, 7, 6. So the input will be assigned on the Celsius value. So here I am going to use the while loop, which checks whether the value of the increment is less than or equals to 0. So if the condition is satisfied, the program will get the increment value from the user and check the value of the increment which is less than or equals to 0. So here, while increment value more than equals to 0, less than equals to 0, less than equals to 0, out, it will prompt user again. Degree Celsius. Okay, so this value will be stored in the increment value variable. So and we close the loop. So next is to display the title for the conversion table. Celsius to Rankine. So here I'm going to use the for loop, which to checks whether the value of the count is less than or equals to maximum loop declared. If the condition is satisfied, the program will calculate the value of Rankine and display the Rankine value, otherwise it will exit the program. and the loop is also checked whether the count is less than or equals to loop size, which is 25, as the program needs to print only 25 lines. So here I'll open the loop for count equals to 1. So we need to count, we need to start the table from 1, and the count is less than equals to loop size, because as we assigned loop size value way earlier, so we just include the loop size variable and count plus plus. This is to increment by 1. And here we're going to put the formula Fahrenheit value is to 9.04590 Celsius value plus 32. So this is to calculate the value of Fahrenheit using Celsius value, and Kelvin value this formula is to calculate the value of Rankine by adding Fahrenheit value of 459.67. So this is basically to add, the system will convert the Fahrenheit value to Rankine. So the system output the answer. Number C, and Rankine value again. So in order the table to increase, Celsius value plus equals to increment value. So close the loop and we pause the system. And we exit the program. Okay, so we try compile and run the program. So the program is compiled and the program is prompting enter the temperature you want to start in Celsius. So I will include as 23 and enter the increments in degrees Celsius. So I'm going to click 5. So these are the output, pretty long. So the starting number of the temperature is 23 Celsius, which I input earlier. So these are the value in Rankine, and the value increased by 5. So 23 plus 5, 28, plus 5, 33, and it goes on to 143, and there's only 25 lines printed. So the loop stops when the 25th line has been printed in the system. So the program finished. So this is the answer and the output for the question. Thank you so much.
So for question 3, I'll also be in charge for it. So we'll have a problem in the timber management, and it's assumed that reforestation will take place at a known rate per year. And for example, if 100 acres are left standing and the reforestation rate is 0.05, then 100 plus 0.05 times 100, 105 acres, it'll be at the end of the first year. So in this question, the formula is already been given, and for our code, we have to assume that the area has a total of 14,000 acres with 2,500 acres uncut and the reforestation rate of 0.02. And we want to print a table showing the number of acres forested at the end of each year for a total of 20 years. So from the question itself, we know that there will not be any input given for the user, so we do not need to prompt the user to fill in anything. And this is how the code will be looking like. So as usual, we have to include iOS stream using namespace std, and we will need to define the symbolic constant for the appropriate value. So for our code, I'll be using constant double, as it'll be easier to manipulate later on, as the values are in decimal point or in integer, so we just put a constant double to make it easier to calculate later on. So for reforest will be 0.02, acres uncut 2005, and years maximum is 20 years based on the question given. And so we go into our main body of the code, integer main, and we need to declare the required variables in declaration section. So this is the part where we will initialize the values. So for the first year, integer number of years for 1 year, and double acres for forested acres and areas uncut. So we will also need to display the heading, and we need to print the title of the table. So it will be see out your near numbers of acre forested, and then you have an inline to moving on to the next part. And we're going to use, in this question, we'll use the while loop, while loop, which will check whether the year is less than or equal to the maximum years. So if the condition is satisfied, we can calculate the forested value. Otherwise, the code will be exited. And then we also need to check whether the number of years will be less than the maximum years. So this is our condition, while number of years less than years max. Then after that, this is the formula for it. We will multiply the reforest rate with the forested and assign the number to the forested. So it's arrested forested plus equals forested plus times by arrested forested. And then we need to print out the value of the forested, which should be C out. And then we want to have an increment of the year. So in the 10 years, we want to have from year 1 to year 10. So we need to have a plus sign to show that the year has been increased. And finally, we want to have the pause the system so that we can end the program if we were to press a character. So we've used the code which is system pause, and of course we end the program with a return 0. So how will it look like after we compile and run? So as you can see, it's from year 1 to year 20. So this is the increment, and you can see that if I press any key, continue, it will be exited after 1.1 seconds, and that's it. So this is my question 3. Thank you.